Hello and welcome to the first video of Aerosim Gaming, a project I've been wanting to get off the ground for a little while here. But today I'm going to talk about the Tobii EyeX. A lot of you have seen it's on YouTube at the moment with a whole heap of YouTubers singing it praises and stuff like that. And I'll get something out of the way straight off the bat. I'm not paid to endorse this product or anything like that. Tobii EyeX obviously have a very scattergun approach with their product, where there must be some kind of profit arrangement with fellow YouTubers that are paid to talk about the product. I am not one of them. But anyway, let's go into the actual review of the product. It comes neatly packaged, and it actually attaches to the bottom of your screen. So if you don't have a bezel at the bottom of your screen, you will have issues with mounting. It has three little red lasers that sit there and point up at your eyes, and it comes bundled with some decent software. It comes with Tobii EyeX software and also an additional infinite screen app. And I'll touch on the infinite screen app just a little bit, because it actually is what sets the profile for individual games. And here we are in DCS with the P-51, and unfortunately, Tobii actually only supports the SU-25, the TF-51, the A-10, and the KO-50 Black Shark. And that's a little bit of an issue, and we'll see that when I try and move around here inside the actual cockpit, where the profile isn't set to the actual cockpit of the aircraft, so there's some parts that you can't actually see. So there are some bad parts of the product, and there are some good parts. There are some things that I really enjoy about the eye tracking. So what I want to do is do a quick startup procedure here with the Tobii EyeX and just track through the cockpit and see how it goes. So here we go. I'll turn the EyeX on, and hopefully we'll be able to look around the cockpit. So yeah, we'll just have a look around outside the aircraft. And the thing that's good here is I can show you, as I look at individual items on the horizon, how I can track them. So I can look at the truck, I can look there, I can look there. Now these objects are obviously not moving, I'm not moving, so this really doesn't tell you too much, but we'll run through the cockpit startup anyway. It's just going to be abbreviated, so we'll just turn all of our switches on down there. I will point this out here just before I get to starting it up, is with Track IR, the 6 degrees of movement, I can move around the stick here. With the EyeX, I cannot. There is no left and right. There's no strafe function, there's no zoom function. However, in the software, I believe this is just a software issue right now, where when you're actually calibrating this, the software does actually see whether you are coming closer to the screen or whether you're strafing left and right versus looking left and right. So right now, I think it's just a limitation of the software. So in any case, I'm just going to turn everything on here. I'll turn the gun sight on, mags, fuel, and yep. Set pitch, set throttle, turn fuel pump on, and we'll just use my HOTAS here. That just makes things a hell of a lot easier. Prime for 3 seconds. That'll do. And rotation. And set 1,000. Looked at the wrong gauge there. Then we have oil pressure. So as you can see, it does track around the cockpit fairly well for what I want to look at. I could look down there instantly and then track straight back up. But anyway, let's get out of here and we'll go taxi. And while I'm taxiing, I'll just clean everything else up as we go. Anyway, while we're moving here, this video doesn't really have much structure. It's really just to show a work in progress of how it is and how I find it. I haven't trained myself on it. Like I said, this is my second flight in it. I'll show some footage of my, third flight. Wow, can't count. My first flight was in the Mustang, and I got an air-to-air kill out of it and then got very quickly blown up. And my second flight was in the Mirage, and this will be my third flight. So I have no hardware training on it or anything like that. This is purely just to see how it functions as a new item. I really hope this blob shows up in the recording here. Also, yes, before I go any further, brakes on. Here is a limitation right now, is my recording software is in the top left-hand corner of the screen. So if I want to check it, that's what happens. So you can quickly map a on-off switch to your HOTAS or something like that, where I can disable and look there. As you can see there, I can track up and check it. That is a little bit annoying, but also if I wanted to check, for instance, the chat, this is what happens. So it is a little bit annoying, but I can very quickly track straight back to center. There's a button that recenters, just like track IR. Anyway, we'll turn it back on for takeoff and we'll get out of here. Make sure no one's going to land on top of us. And try and line up on the runway here. And we'll get rolling. Slowly increase power. Get that gear up nice and quick. Check our speed for the turn. And away we go. So I do like how I can check the corners. The problem is when you look out here in the Mustang, I have no visual reference at the attitude of the aircraft. I could be anywhere, I constantly have to track back to the center of the aircraft to get some kind of visual reference. And arguably I could zoom out when I track around and look. That gives me a better field of view. However, I don't believe that's realistic. The real focal point of this aircraft is about here. So if I'm sitting in the cockpit, this is about the view that I have. So sitting back here, I mean, it is a limitation of being in a simulator, but I much prefer being in the field of view that's realistic. Anyway, we better set max continuous. And not crash into the ground. Alright, so here we are, about to roll in on some ground targets just on the other side of the bridge over there. And what I'll do beforehand is just get the aircraft set up to go into combat, so I can check my power settings, I can check my RPM, I can check my temperatures, my T's and P's if you like, and just run through everything else, make sure my armaments panel is live, which it is. I just prefer the fixed scope here. We'll bring the power up. And what I'm going to do is just lock onto one of these targets down there at the bridge. I can see one just in the corner of the road there. We'll set power and let's roll in on him. So all I'm doing is just holding my focus, as you can see, right on that point. And the eye tracking is just bringing my camera directly to where that target is. We'll see how well that works when we get closer though, where the speeds are a little bit quicker. Quick speed check. We definitely needed some trim there. And we took some hits there, but I think we took one of those tanks out. So So again, here's one of the limitations that I found, but I think it's... Oh, we got one on our 6. As I have no idea where the front of the aircraft is. We'll bring the power in. I really can't maneuver with rockets here, but... we got ourselves a quick little bit of air combat here then. I really should check my 6. Have the speed to hang with this guy? I think I do. No, I do not. But at least we have a fast-moving target to try and track. I lost him. But there is one on my 6 here somewhere. And here's another limitation. It's trying to track your 6. And here's what I was trying to show you when I was on the ground. Is I am looking directly to the tail of my aircraft and I cannot clear my 6. It is a bit of an issue. I'm just trying to scan the sky and find this target. I'm taking hits. He's directly on my 6. I don't even know if I have the energy to make him bleed off. I don't know if I can scissor a 190, but I know I can outturn him in sustained G, so... let's see if I can track him. Nope. Oh, there he is. I know I just said I can't scissor with a 190, but... if this was a real person, I would be in a lot of trouble here. It's obviously an AI. I just saw him climbing off to my left there, so we'll just extend away and try and pick up some speed. Quick engine check. Yuck. I'm gonna have to open that oil cooler up. It hasn't brought the temp down at all. This is nice and busy to test how intuitive it is, and it feels intuitive. This guy's latched onto me. I look where I want to go and the aircraft comes there. Except in these awkward sort of high positions, like in that area there. It doesn't feel intuitive to track back to the nose of the aircraft. So I'm going to guess there'll be some training involved with getting used to that. Really need to bleed this guy's speed so I have a chance. At least the temperatures are back online. We'll go vertical and see what we can get. I can hear him. There he goes. He's gone vertical as well. It's definitely awkward over the top. It feels like if your eyes track to any side of center of the screen, it starts rolling in that direction. And by rolling, I mean your field of view. I can't just look up just a small little bit left or right. Oh, taking more hits. I'm just going to have to pull him into a sustained G turn. No, I'm not. I'm dead. Well, after crashing a perfectly good aeroplane, I'm now going to jump into the Mirage here, and I'll show you what I mean by the point of view, this weird sort of focal point of view that happens when you look to the rear of the aircraft. So I've just done a bombing run here, and now I'm going to look for a target, and I'm going to pull a nice high G turn, down low obviously, to try and track back around and get some bombs on target. But here we'll see the problem is, as I start to look into the turn, there's kind of like a focal change where my view starts rotating, and I lose all point of contact with the ground, what way's up, what way's down. It's really hard to fly at that point. So I had to safety out, roll out, and continue a climb. And I think that's the core problem with Tobii EyeX right now, is that it works really well in a field of view around 60 degrees to either side of your peripherals. But as soon as you start going behind a 90-degree field of view, like behind your wings for instance, it really starts to struggle. When you think of it as an XY coordinate, it obviously is going to start to struggle because we're talking about a 360-degree world. Does this mean you should buy it? I don't know. If you have track IR, then definitely not. If you're looking for some kind of tracking object, yeah, I think so. I feel it's more natural to look at the things that you want to see on the screen, and I found it more natural in the flying I did. I think it's a decent product, and it's well worth a look at. It doesn't have... one conceit you have to give it, it doesn't have the maturity that Track IR has. Track IR's been around for years, the software's developed, the hardware's developed, and I think in time the software and the hardware of the Tobii EyeX will line up, and we'll have a really good product here for flight sims. Thanks for watching Erisim Gaming. If you have any questions about this video, or you have any particular videos you'd like me to make in the future, please just leave a comment or send me a message on the DCS forums. My name on there is Night Rush. Thanks again.